just like that, we are back with another season and another episode of Unmuted. I want to thank you all for tuning in to season three, episode number one, season three's premiere of Unmuted. So we have a few things going on, a couple things that are different. And I want to say thank you. Thank you all for rocking with us another season. Tell a friend, chime in. This season, we are branching out. We will be on YouTube. We're podcasting and we are still on Facebook Live. So I want to thank you all so much for dropping by, spending a little time with the girl, seeing what we have going on, all the new things, the trending topics, and whatnot. So if you want to share, please do so. Like, comment, subscribe to our new YouTube page. Season one and season two will be available on YouTube after tonight. This episode will be uploaded tonight as well, and we will start releasing previous videos. Please check us out on our new home. So some of you may be watching Unmuted from my regular Facebook Live page, and some may be streaming from the Unmuted page. We now have a new home. Unmuted has its own Facebook page. So please just go and pull up Unmuted. You will see our logo. If you click on the page, you can see the previous videos from season one and season two. For the most part, they're in order. They may be a little bit off here or there, but they're from the most recent one. Then they go all the way back. So please don't mind us. Pardon us, and if there are any episodes that are out of sync, but you get our gist. You can go back and rewatch. So in saying that, one of the things that happened when we started the new Facebook page for Unmuted, we lost all the views, we lost all of the comments, all of the likes, and everything. So we completely started over. We could not share the content from the previous page to the new page. Well, I could have, but that would have been totally against the reason I started the new page in the first place. So all of the views, all the comments in the description box, everything is gone away. So everything is new. There are probably not many views. So if you want to go back and watch, you want to go back and tell a friend, some of the previous episodes that we had guests on, we'll probably share those periodically to just kind of revisit a little bit. But we are on a new home. Unmuted has its own Facebook page. Unmuted also has a YouTube page. And again, like I said a few minutes ago, we will have the previous season one and season two uploaded. Well, they're there. We will have them public after this show is uploaded and airs on tonight. So again, please check us out on YouTube. Please check us out, on Facebook Live on our regular page, or I'll also stream and share from my regular page. And we're also podcasting. Unmuted has its own podcast. We are under Anchor, so you want to check that out. You can check the podcast. Now, we're having a few technical difficulties in the studio right now. So our Wi-Fi is, I don't know what's going on with our Wi-Fi. So my tech guy behind the scenes is making it work for me. With some hot spots and all of that, just so we can keep everything going and make sure we were on time. Pardon our lateness. We were a couple of minutes late. I'm supposed to have a special guest on tonight, Mr. Arnold Stringer III. He is an educator. He's an educator at Montgomery Catholic. He teaches different maths, pre-calculus, I think calculus, algebra, maybe geometry. He also, okay, my son is saying not geometry, but he teaches the others. He also teaches some classes at Trenum. So I would, I linked him in the page. He is tagged in the page. Please frequent his page, check him out, because he offers ACT ACT test prep. He also offers tutorial services outside of Montgomery Catholic and what he does in the school. He is a great asset. The children love him. Now, as I said, he was supposed to be my special guest on tonight. But a few minutes before we aired, he had a family emergency. I'm not going to disclose what that family emergency was, but or is, but I would please ask you, if you believe in the power of prayer, to keep his family lifted. He is soliciting prayers at this particular time. So I will not have him on tonight. He's going to have to reschedule. But again, please, please, please keep his family in prayer. He had emergency, I mean, literally like 5 minutes before we were scheduled, 5 or 10 minutes before we were scheduled to go live. But that gives me a little time to get you acclimated into season 3. I want to say good evening. Hey, Felicia, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Good evening. Good evening. Um, I'm not really sure. So I'm running from a couple of different platforms. I'm trying to keep it together. So we got podcasting going on. I think we got the YouTube doing what it's supposed to be doing. And we on Facebook. I may be looking one way. I'm totally in tune to you, but my eyes may divert to this camera over here because I want to make sure I don't miss anything on this end. But I am all about you. So with season 3, we have a few new things going on aside from the podcasting, um, aside from the YouTube and our regular page. We're gonna bring a couple of new topics to you all. So one, we're gonna have a small little segment at the end, at the very beginning of the show, and it'll be called "Let's Talk About." So we're going to be engaging just a little bit in some local things that are happening in our community, in our region, some statewide things that are happening around our state, and then some national things. So some things that may be sometimes a little bit controversial, some things that you need to be in the know about that you may or may not know what's going on. But we want to bring it to you on a local level. We want to bring some things to you on a state level and on a national level, because there are a lot of things going around, a lot of things going on right now locally, statewide, and nationally that we can talk about. So that will be one thing that we will start implementing within season 3 in the upcoming episodes. So be on the lookout for that. It could be anything from music trends, political topics, hot topics, COVID-19, CDC related topics, different things that are going on that we may need to be in the know about, things going on with our children, what have you, so be on the lookout for that. If you have any suggestions for it, please, you can always inbox us, send us an email or whatnot. So we will get that started as well. Now, kicking off season 3, which was supposed to start tonight, was a new series that I will be starting for the next several weeks to kick us off in this season with the first several episodes actually. And it's going to be a series called Black Man Thrive. So what is a Black Man Thrive? Black Man Thrive is a series that really was hitting home with everything that's going on in our nation, everything that's going on locally, hence the Let's Talk About, in our state, nationwide. So we often hear, lately we're hearing a lot about our young men, our young Black men. So we're going to talk about it, but I'm going to start a series that's going to dive in deep with the Black Man Thrive. Hey, Nardo, thank you for tuning in, love. I really appreciate you. So with this series, what we're doing is we're not going to down Black men. We're not going to just talk about them, and we're not casting them away. What we're going to do is we're going to bring some reality to everyone and attempt to enlighten individuals about the Black man. See, there are a lot of Black men that have come from not so great backgrounds, but they've actually changed their life around. They may have come from some situations that wasn't the ideal, but they've actually turned their life around. So while we're talking about, we're losing a generation, we're losing, our young men, this generation is going here, they need this, they're not getting this, they're different from previous generations. Are different from previous generations. You know why? Because every generation is different from that generation before. But what I want to do is I want to bring and shed a little light. And how better to do that than to actually bring in Black men from diverse backgrounds. Some of the guests that we're going to have um, been in prison, and they're going to be able to tell their own story, and they're now entrepreneurs because it took them going this route and having an eye opener to realize that wasn't the route they wanted to take. Then some of them were in different career fields, and they had to step out on faith and realize, you know what, this is not for me. It may not have been the best thing that, for their families at the time, or they might have had some little controversy. It might have been a pool in a tub because they were quitting a job and because they felt led to do something else, but they're the breadwinner in the house. And they stepped out on faith. They took a leap of faith, and then they jumped into something and they found their thing. It's going to be different men coming on and telling their story. Because one thing that I've learned here recently in working on this series is the very thing that we're talking about, losing a generation that's coming up behind us. But what about the generation right now? See, there are a lot of men right now that think because they've made bad decisions in their life, or because they didn't have this or they didn't have that, they don't have this degree, they don't have this educational background, they don't have this job, they feel stuck. Some of them are fighting and they're battling depression. So it's not just a generation that's coming up that we're losing, but a generation that's in the now. So I feel that if we can bring men on to show, I was here, but now I'm here. I came from this background, but I turned my life around. I did this and I did that. Now, everyone's story is not going to be the same, but I'm sure that someone that I bring on is going to be able to relate to someone that is watching somewhere. So please, tell your friends, chime in, bring a friend, do a chew and chat with us, some Sunday nights and whatnot. I love the feedback. I love to converse. I can see your comments and whatnot. So please tell somebody about what we're going to have coming on. We have about 8 guests that are lined up to come on and tell their story. And some of them may come on in twos and discuss, their backgrounds, what they went through, how they came out. They may do, a little back and forth dialogue. We just don't know how it's going to go because it's completely not going to be scripted. But what we want to do, we want to bring a little light to the world as much as we can about the Black man. Black men do thrive. Not all Black men are bad. There are very intelligent men, and we want the ones that are stuck, that are feeling down, that feel like they have nowhere to go, that is someone somewhere that was like them at some point and they made a turnaround. Maybe they need to hear someone else's story to give them a little motivation. But that's all about Unmuted. That's what Unmuted is all about. We're being transparent. We're putting our flaws, so to speak, out there to help free someone else. Because in freeing us, in freeing ourselves, in releasing what we're holding on to, it also helps someone else. That's what Unmuted is all about. So we're going to have that coming up in the next couple of Sundays. Again, my special guest on tonight had an emergency, so he was not able to tune in, link in as we had we previously scheduled, with that how we announced and had it aired and everything, literally about 5 to 10 minutes before the show got ready to air. He had a family emergency and he had to back out, but we will reschedule him and we will have this episode. We'll also bring on some more guests. And I'm excited about the new season. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about Unmuted because we need this right now. This is something that we need. And I like to always, let people know the background of Unmuted. I prepared for this show maybe a few years before it actually started, but I felt muted. I felt down. I felt that my voice didn't need to be heard. I felt stuck in my own situations. I felt that I would be judged. I felt that I would be talked about. I felt that I would be rejected. I would be looked down on. And so I held a lot of things in. And that those things that I held in, they weighed me down. I call them life relationships. Life happens to us all, and it depends on how you look at it, how you come out of it. And I didn't want to be bitter. I didn't want to be cynical. I didn't want to be spiteful. I didn't want the divorce to take a toll on me. I didn't want to be some of the things that I saw around me. I wanted to be better. So I prayed and I asked for healing. I wanted God to heal me. I wanted God to make me whole. I didn't want to feel condemned and worry about what other people thought of me because of my situation, because I didn't look like the things that I had gone through. So I in asking to be healed and asking to be whole, God, he answered my prayers, and he did exactly what I needed. And in turn, it freed me. In turn, it gave me a boldness that I needed. In turn, it gave me something to kickstart me, that if he can do it for me, he can do it for someone else too. But maybe the very thing that I was holding on to is what someone else needed to hear to help free them, because we never know what we're going through, how that can, and what we go through and what we grow through can actually help someone else. That's what Unmuted is all about. We're here to unmute, to release, to unleash those things that are weighing us down, to in turn so we can help others, because we're better together. That's what it's all about. Being transparent, being bold and transparent enough to help others, because we're not in this world alone, and we're all supposed to be each other's keeper. This is a free place. This is a no judgment zone, shall I say. We're not here to bash. If Unmuted is not for you, then Unmuted is not for you. We understand it may not be for everybody, but who it is for, it is for. So that's Unmuted. That's what Unmuted is all about. And I hope that someone can get something out of a episode at some point in time. So, going on a little bit more about the series, um, Black Men Thrive. I'm really excited about this because I have about 8 people coming up. I hate that we really couldn't get started on tonight, but we will. Some of the things that I want to talk about, as far as the let's talk about some trending topics that we have going on right now. So now everybody is not. It's not my job to put how I feel on anyone else. But one of the things I want to talk about is COVID-19 and vaccinations. Everyone has their reasoning for getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated. I am not your judge. It is not my job to push on you that you should get vaccinated or you should not get vaccinated. I know what I did. I know how I feel. And that's my family household. But be smart, be wise in whatever it is that you do or you don't do, because lives are at stake. Whether you believe or you don't believe, whether you think it was a hoax, whether you think it's man-made, however you feel, I would ask you to be wise. Another thing that I want to talk about is the homeless rate. So many of you, what some of you may know, one of the things that we do, one of my agency is partnered with Alabama Rural Coalition for the Homeless, Arch, and it's a center for it's a nonprofit agency that is there to prevent homelessness, rehouse, rapid rehouse, put in individuals that need housing in emergency shelters, and that is that is a major issue right now. A lot of people are affected. They're still affected by COVID-19, and jobs have not gone back to full capacity, especially in rural areas. And people are needing assistance. The assistance is out there. People are needing a little something. We have people that have been evicted, people that are living in hotels, people that are living from one house to the other house, people that have nowhere, literally nowhere to live. Assistance is out there. There is help available. And I want to make sure that I put that out there because this is a local issue. It is a statewide issue, and it is a national issue. We have to get a grip on this. The assistance is out there. The resources are readily available. If you are in the Montgomery area, please call 211. If you are in one of the rural areas around the state, look up archconnection.org, and you will be able to get some information regarding housing, rapid rehousing, prevention, whatnot. And those resources are out there. So I want to make sure I do talk about that. I would be remiss to mention that on tonight, kicking this season off. That's something that we're dealing with right now, and it's not going anywhere. We just came out of, not anytime soon, I hate to say it, but we're trying. We just came out of September, which is Suicide Prevention Month. As many of you know, I'm all things suicide prevention, prevention, postvention, intervention. If you know someone that is suffering, um, please, 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 please look up the National Suicide Hotline. Um, no one should feel that they have no way out. There is a day after today. Suicide is a very serious topic. Depression is a very serious topic. Mental illness is a very serious topic, and they all have correlations. So let's be mindful of the people around us. Let's be mindful of our friends and family. Check on your friends, check on your family. You never know what a person is going through. Everyone doesn't have the same coping mechanism, so they don't handle things the same. There are a lot of people that are going through, and it has no respective age on it. There are teenagers that are going through. There are young adults that are going through. There are seasoned people that are going through. There are middle age. There are older are going through, because life happens to us all. Check on someone. Be there for someone if you're just a listening ear, because we never know when we could be in that position. So I want to make sure that I mention that as far as suicide prevention, giving the resources for the homelessness, or prevention, for those, the emergency shelter. Those are two things that we are really dealing with locally, statewide, and nationally right now. Um, and that's major. That's a big thing right now. Um, I want to give a shout out before I start shutting down to a really I'm really proud of this young lady. I'm sure she's not watching, but I'm gonna plug her anyway. Her name is Ashley Lee. She goes by Chef Lee. If you could check her out on Facebook. I think her Facebook page is her business page is Chef Lee. So she just recently had her 1 year anniversary for Freely Chef Lee, where she branched out and started just living her dream, doing what she loves. She's a chef. She has been all around the city doing what she loves. She's a great cook. I mean, I've gotten some of her place. She's a really great cook, and she is a young lady about her business. So please patronize her. You can check her out, Chef Lee, on Facebook. She drops different menus. She has different pop-ups and whatnot. Please, I know a few of you all that are on my page have, got a taste of her food. She's really good, but I do want to plug her business. I do try to do that. We also Nicole, she does t-shirts and different apparel designs. I'll be rocking a few of her pieces. I love to normally rock some entrepreneurs, their apparel every episode. So every Sunday, typically that's what I like to do. I like to make sure I support, because love is what love does. So Nicole, shout out to her. You can find her on Facebook. I think it's Lachey Creations. I might be wrong about that, but I'll come back and I'll make it right. So let's support each other. That's what it's all about. So you got Chef Lee with the food, Nicole, with some of the apparel. Check out Kendrick Treywick. She has this new line. It's called God's Gift. Of course, I'm already gonna get on that. So you'll see me in some of her apparel, and that's what it's all about. I want to support people even along in my journey, because that's what it's all about. So I'm going to wrap up tonight just a little bit early because of the changes that we had in our schedule. But please check us out every Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be on Facebook Live. We will be on our podcast, Unmuted Podcast. And we're also now on YouTube. So please check us out on YouTube, the Unmuted YouTube page. Please like and subscribe. Now, as I previously said, Unmuted does have a new home on Facebook. So if you could, please go and put in Unmuted, and you'll see the logo, and like the new like the new Facebook page. Please go on YouTube and also like the YouTube page. Subscribe. I think you can turn the bell on. All of that. Okay, so work with me a little bit on the YouTube part. I'm just getting into this, but we will be releasing all of the previous episodes of Unmuted tonight. Season 1 and season 2. Okay, maybe not. Titus looking at me like, probably not. We are. Yes. Okay. He says yes. My tech guys behind the scenes. I have to keep him on deck. We will be releasing season 1 and season 2 of Unmuted on the YouTube page after this show finishes tonight and it's uploaded. So if you miss season 1, you miss season 2, we have some great content going on. Please check us out. Please go on and view the previous and share. Let somebody know about Unmuted is now on YouTube, and you can go back and you can replay and watch however many times you want to on our new Facebook page. The previous episodes are on our Facebook page as well. We put them all over to the new page, so you can go back, you can rewatch, you can share with somebody, you can do whatever you need to do. You can like, you can re-comment. I'm sorry, the comments and the descriptions and everything is not there. We kind of lost those in the shifting over, but the content is still there. Let's see. Nardo's telling me to come get me something to eat. Me and my nephew. Say less. We'll be over there when we wrap up the show. Thank you so kindly. See, we got people trying to feed me. I don't gotta cook. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in to season 3 premiere of Unmuted. Please check us out every Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm shutting this episode down just a little bit early. I mean, I got the gift of gab, but I'm shutting it down a little bit early because we did have a few changes. Mr. Arnold Stringer III was supposed to be on tonight as our special guest, but he had a very severe family emergency. And he called about 5 or 10 minutes before we were set to air to let me know he was not going to be able to be on. We will reschedule him and get him in the lineup to still come back. But if you believe in the power of prayer, as I said in the beginning of the show, please pray for Mr. Arnold Stringer's family. I'm not going to put the business out there, but if you believe in the power of prayer, please lift his family up in prayer. Prayer on tonight. We actually did right before we started the show. But we will definitely get him rescheduled. I'm excited about the new thing. So please look for the new segment. Let's talk about that. We will have like a little 5-minute segment talking about local, state, national issues, trending topics. It's going to be a little bit different every Sunday. So don't just base it off of what you see tonight. because it's going to be want to bring some different things to the show this season. First series up for the next, I think, if I'm looking at the board right, for the next 8 weeks, we're going to be running a series called Black Men Thrive. We're going to have different guests on with diverse backgrounds. It's going to be exciting. I'm really excited about it. Some of these men are really stepping out of their comfort zones. It's going to be a little something for everybody. When I tell you they're coming from different backgrounds and telling how they got started, where they came from, where they are now, what they did to get there, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I can't tell that story like they can tell that story, so I'm not going to even try. You just tune in to Unmuted to see. Again, we're on Facebook now. We were already on Facebook, but Unmuted has its own Facebook page. So please go on and like that. We're also on YouTube. So check us out on YouTube. All the previous episodes will be on YouTube tonight, will be public on YouTube tonight. And check out our podcast, the Unmuted Podcast. It's on Anchor. It's on Anchor. All right. So thank you all for listening to me gab it out and tell you what we got coming up for the new season. I appreciate all of you. Please like, comment, share, whatever they say do, and chime in. Bring a friend. Next week we want to chat and chew with us and see what all we have going on. Look forward to seeing us and my smiling face every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You all have a great night, a great start of your week. Be great on purpose. Be safe. And we will see you all the same time, the same station next Sunday. Have a good night.